If you're watching this video and you're hearing the sound of my voice, then you probably already know that I was killed yesterday. You see, while driving home late from work, I peered into the rear view and saw a cluster of what appeared to be brightly lit Christmas ornaments. Ah, boy, here we go again. Then I got that feeling. My heart sunk into my stomach and my insides curled. You know that feeling? When you've got nothing to hide and your record is as white as pearls. I know you've had that feeling when you're being pulled over by a police officer. So I did exactly what I was instructed to do growing up in the late 90s. You know, pull to the right, put the car in park, roll down the windows, lower the volume on the radio, and put both hands on a tight grip on the steering wheel. See, I told you I've been here before, so I know the deal. Then the officer approached and asked for my driver's license and registration, and without hesitation, of course, I followed his instruction. So as I reached into the glove compartment, I felt a vibration in my pocket and a ringtone followed. It was the same ringtone I would usually hear around this time, remembering that I promised my wife that I'll be home early. So I retracted away from the glove compartment and made a fast move to my pocket, and then, bang, I was hit. I don't know, maybe the way I moved was a bit too swift. The officer thought I was reaching for a weapon, so he fired. So my wife is now a widow. My 2-year-old son will carry my legacy, and my 3-month-old daughter will have to know about me through stories, images, and family memories. And you see, we've been here before many times, so I already know what's about to happen. The media's gonna have a frenzy saying, "Here's another fatal police shooting." And you'll feel angry and confused. You'll take it to the streets calling for new laws and strict police surveillance rules. Civil rights leaders will speak of my wrongful death behind pulpits and podiums. Cities will shut down and the world will watch tirelessly at this seemingly routine pandemonium. And trust me, there'll be looters, provocateurs, opportunists screaming, "We can't let them get away with it. How can they do this again?" To the men, you've been hoodwinked. You were told that there are more black men in jail than there are in universities. Lies. Because statistically, as of 2012, according to the Department of Education, National Center of Education, there are 1,456,762 African American men enrolled in universities. Now, compare that to the 793,653 in jails and prisons. Think of the possibilities. That means that you have a lower chance of going to prison and a higher chance of being educated within a university. Can't you see? It's all about what you digest and believe. To the hustlers, drug dealers, and those who set up shops without doors, I have a question. What's a drug dealer but an illegal, unethical entrepreneur? A successful drug dealer has to know import, export, finance, marketing, logistics, retail, and customer service. Now imagine if you took all these skills and transferred them into legit businesses. You'd be the head of Wall Street, creating fast tech companies and securing true wealth and legacy. To the community, it's said that 10%, yes, only 10% of mentors could radically change a community. Each one teach one. All a young person has to see is one of you who made it. If they see one, they could be one. My people, do your research. Each one teach one. All a young person has to see is one of you who made it. If they see one, they could be one. My people, do your research. The study is in the figures. Now let's deal with this issue about calling each other thoughts, bees, and niggers. I don't have time to argue about its new meaning nor origin, so please. But imagine if we replaced nigger and addressed each other as kings and queens. They say that life and death are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruits. So if we're constantly degrading each other, then we shouldn't be surprised at what we produce. Let's deal with the root. And what about our rich heritage of faith? There was a time we used to gather under the steeple. Now we've blasphemed God's name and become a faithless people. And I know in today's world, they've taken God out of our schools. So let's bring God back into our homes. Beloved, He's still on the throne. So you see, that's where it starts. Let His message leap from the pages and into your hearts. Let's see people as His children, the Imago Dei, created in His likeness and in His image. So you want to avenge my death and countless black lives? Then put the smartphone down, limit your time on social media, and push that laptop aside. And I challenge you with this. Let's use education as the vehicle and entrepreneurship as the engine. Let's produce more attorneys to represent us in the Supreme Court, more judges presiding over our cases, police officers and chiefs who grew up in our communities, who recognize our faces. Let's not only vote for presidents, but acknowledge the access and power we have in local city and state elections. Let's produce more politicians who bear more action than words, more doctors, more nurses, more professionals that serve. In other words, representation, representation. So if you're angry and you want to avenge my death, I want you to know that there's hope, and collectively you can change our situations. Education and entrepreneurship. And listen, our sons depend on you. Our daughters depend on you. Our future depends on you.